that gives me a beautiful segue into the philosophy that you talk about, you write about, which is you almost have about 37 Stoic wisdoms, right? And I saw a whole host of wisdoms out there. So the first question I'm going to ask you here, James, is that how do I start practicing this? Because very hard for me, right? See, I am an youngster, I'm a middle manager, I am a CEO. I just need a way to start the way you're talking, which is, how do I practice it? What are the first few steps that I should take? Can you tell me couple of steps that I should take to say, hey, how do I look at it? How do I ensure that I start seeing small wins, realizing it, absorbing it, feeling it? So, how should I start, and what are the first few steps I need to take?
Uh, I spent a few minutes before our conversation and I'm going to read you 5 headlines from that, which I think is the start to answering your question, if I may. I wrote, "My traditional habitat is the corporate environment. My long-term interest is in how to foster career success. I believe the greatest force an individual can wield on themselves and others is an idea. I am interested in understanding and sharing ideas. Maturity means adopting a philosophy of life which addresses both one's goals in life and 2 methods to attain those goals." There's details under that, but that's the headlines. And the point that I want to highlight now to answer your question is ideas are powerful. Ideas impact the world, but they also operate on you as a person. And I found that over time, without really having a grand plan, came to adopt a philosophy of life that helped me navigate difficult times, good times, but basically feel like I had both a purpose and a path. And the way for me to attain such a philosophy of life is to expose myself to ideas. I started reading Seneca's moral letters to Lucilius, which were short, right? Each one only takes 5 or 10 minutes to read, and therefore I could easily read one each day, but I found myself thinking about it for hours afterwards. What does that mean? How does that apply today? Does something really still have relevance for us, and why? And it was a slow, accretive process over many months and years where an idea would stick and maybe have more meaning to me and other ideas maybe less so. I then started to write my own summary of Seneca's ideas, his summary of Stoic philosophy, and that's led to the creation of the Stoic letters for modern times that you referred to. I actually have 125 of them. I'm just publishing them one a week, so more come out each week. I publish them on a weekly basis exactly to help accommodate the person who's busy, who's working 40 or 60 or 80 hours a week. They don't have a ton of time. They don't maybe have a great interest in philosophy. But do you have an interest in a 5-minute read that's going to cause you to think about things like, what does success mean? What does happiness mean? How do I deal with being busy? How do I deal with being healthy, living a long life? Is it appropriate to seek fame, public office, wealth? Why or why not? Basic life questions, it turns out, have been on people's minds for as long as there have been people. The reason we can read Confucius or the Buddha or the Stoics today, and it makes absolute sense to us, is because they're talking about basic human nature. And human nature has not changed so much, even though our environment has changed rapidly and technology has changed rapidly. The basic questions about how to live a good life have not. And therefore, I personally found great value in little incremental reading on topics which confronted me with ideas, and ideas have the power to change you as a person and the world that we're in. So my recommendation to a person wondering about these questions would be to, for sure, you're welcome to read my if they're interesting to you, but of course I know there's a whole wide world out there of people. Most successful people, even exceptionally busy ones, often are curious and they are reading something. It doesn't have to be like homework. It shouldn't feel like homework to you. You should read things that you enjoy. And by the way, let me please expand that. You can consume ideas in many forms. You can listen to excellent podcasts like this one, which will confront you with interesting ideas and interesting people. You can listen to TED Talks, watch YouTube videos. It doesn't, you consume an idea in whatever format makes sense to you, consume them on topics that are of interest to you, habit of half an hour each day of some sort of exposure to an idea, you will become a thoughtful person, you will become a more mature person, and you will probably develop, however formal it is or informal, an idea about what's important in life and how you want to live your life.